Hello and welcome to the Matrix Fitness live workout. My name is Matt Gleed. I'm the TRX Master Trainer and Master Trainer for Matrix Fitness as well as other brands. And today we're going to take you through a fitness workout where we're going to challenge you through 3 rounds of exercises. We've got some conditioning work in the first round, some core work in the second, and then we've got some fitness work in that third round of exercises as well. First thing we're going to do is do a little bit of mobility. So just start with mobilizing your arms, reaching across your body, creating a little bit of space, starting to feel the mobility work through the shoulders and through the chest. Next up, we're going to take a bit of mobility into your ankles and throughout your hips. So just pivot your feet and rotate your arms around about shoulder height. Now, today's workout is a really good one. We've got lots of chances for you to push your heart rates up a little bit more as well. Now let's start to draw some blood into the muscles that are going to be working by just lowering your hips down towards your heels into a squat. As you're doing this movement, start to think about moving a little bit deeper if you feel comfortable to, so we can start to challenge the range of movement that you've got and really start to activate some of those muscles which are going to be doing some of the work. We've got some great exercises and they start off with a bit of work where you could add a bit of sideways movements to this next one as well. Okay, so we're going to start taking a step back, down towards the floor of your knee, step back up and alternate to the opposite side. So you start to take this step back lunge, keeping your back straight and just keep control through that movement. Last couple of repetitions, we'll do one more on each side. And just loosen the body out. Next up, we're going to take a bit of a heart rate increase. So I want you to take an imaginary skipping rope and just get yourself pushing off the floor, just where you can start to challenge your heart rate a little bit higher. So just pushing off the floor. This will also start to engage your calves and to get all the muscles around the feet all active, ready for our workout. Now let's just take that movement from side to side. And again, as you push off the floor here, this is a perfect start to our first exercise we're going to do, which will be a speed skater, where you just start to push off from one foot to the other. Now, in our last round, we've got another variation of exercise that we've done before, where we push off the floor. So just start to scissor the feet, 1 foot forwards, 1 foot backwards. And you can start to feel your heart rate starting to creep up, as well as keeping that mobility for the shoulders as you rotate the arms. Okay, just loosen yourself up here. Take yourself into a fighting stance for me. I want you to jab, cross, jab. We're going to switch the legs 180 degrees and again jab, cross, jab. Now, as you throw those straight punches forwards, you're going to be aiming at around about chin to head height. And you're going to be pivoting off your feet. Now, it's important to do this so you can connect your feet all the way to the fists, and we can start to activate all of the muscles throughout the body as you start to throw those punches forwards. Pivoting off the feet allows you to reach forwards and also allows you to engage all of the muscles around the chest, shoulders and back, all the way around to the glutes as well. Just loosen yourselves up. Let's take you into a little jumping jack here. Starting to get your heart rates up a little bit more. Good. Now those arms reach up above the head. You can feel the heart rate going up, mobility for the shoulder, and also activating all of these muscles, especially the ones which are going to be working when we start to do those speed skaters and move from side to side. Okay, and just loosen yourself up. Now what we're going to do is pivot the feet to one side, reach your arms high. I want you to drive your knee up 3 times, then pivot your feet to the opposite side, and then again, reach your arms high, drive your knee up, and just repeat that from one side to the other. This is a great exercise for improving that flexion and extension of the hip. And at the same time, big range of movement. So we keep your heart rates up and we can start to really challenge that big range of movement and a lot of muscle work, all engaging at the same time as well. Okay, now we're going to do another 2 on each side. Drive that knee up high. And the last one's here. Okay, and just relax. Okay, shake the body out. So 45 seconds of work. We've got just about 10 seconds before we start. We will have 15 seconds rest in between. Now, the first exercise, as we've mentioned a couple of times, is the speed skater. So you're going to push off from side to side, trying to travel as much width as you can. Let's get you working. So pushing off from side to side, try to feel like you're working your acceleration and deceleration. So what it really means is as you push off the side, use your arms to control that momentum that you're working. And when you can really start to feel on the outside of your hips and your glutes, that this is going to start to challenge the muscles. That's it. Push from side to side. Big, strong, big, varied movement. Drive your arms. Now we've got just 10 seconds left to go. Keep pushing as far as you can. See if you can start to travel a little bit further, especially now as your muscles start to warm up even further. We can push you that little bit more. Okay, and relax there. Now the next exercise is down on the floor. So we've got a press up and a thruster burpee. So what we're going to look at here, press up and then jump your legs in, jump the legs out, and then press up again. Now the press ups can be done in your knees as well. So off we go. Lower the chin, chest, and hips down to the floor. Jump your legs in and out, and then repeat. Now each time you lower your body down towards the floor, try and get the whole body to move. So it's not just your hips. I want the chin and chest to come all the way down. So you have to work through the elbow and shoulder joints to be strong as you push yourself away. And then just jump those feet in and out. Now, if that jump isn't for you, just walk your feet in and out as well. As long as you're modifying the movement that we're doing, you're going to get a great full body workout as well. Okay, and relax there. Let's bring you back up to a standing position. Now, the next exercise is called an explode. Quite a dynamic position. So we squat down into position. You're going to jump your feet in and then back out. Now, as you're jumping into that squat, take as much range as you can. Let's get moving. So squat, jump the feet together, reset the feet, and we can start to increase your heart rate yet again by starting to bring that speed up as well. Got some great exercises for the legs today, and this is one of them. Not only are we going to get the heart rate up, but it's a very strong, powerful movement as you push off the floor. Now, if jumping isn't for you, this is a great modification where you just have to push off the floor. But feel free just to take to a basic squat, just like we did in our warm-up if you want to. Good, you've got just 5 seconds. Last couple of repetitions here. Keep moving as quick as you can. Great job. Okay, relax there. 15 seconds recovery before we go to the speed skaters again. Now, next up, try and push as far as you can from side to side. Use the arms in that dynamic way. Let's repeat all those 3 exercises. Now, as you push off from side to side, try and accelerate as you push. Make it a big range of movement. Keep yourself focused in that athletic stance. Let your eyes, your chin and your chest all look forwards. If you haven't got much room, do what you can, turn diagonally. But if you can, let's start trying to push that range of movement even more. Just use those arms to drive the momentum. Now, it's important to stay in this athletic stance, so you're in that almost half squat position, staying quite low, so you can push through the feet and relax there. Let's take it down to the floor for those press-ups and the thrusters again. Got a little bit of time, got 10 seconds in between now. Hands out in front of you, underneath your shoulders. Strong press-up position if you can, and then jump those legs in and out. Let's go. Remember, the press-up can be on the knees, and then you can jump the feet in and out, or a full press-up if you can. It's important to try and get that full range of movement. See a lot of people doing press-ups where it's not a full range of movement. It's either just their head moving or just their hips. So try and really get used to the whole body lowering down towards the floor and then jump in and out. And if you want to get more in, you might find that going to your knees helps that range of movement in the shoulders. Okay, and relax there. Okay, last exercise of this first round are the explodes. This way you jump and then reset into that squat position. So it's just like pushing off the floor. Starting in 5, feet wide to begin with, lower down into that squat. Let's jump your feet in and out. So this is where we want the tempo to be picked up if we can. Keep yourself moving as quick as you feel comfortable to go. You're going to soon have the potential to get back into gyms, which is great news. But as we start to get you ready for those gyms, it's important we start to try and improve some of the fitness that we've been doing at home. So that way then we can get yourself ready for exploring different pieces of equipment and around your gym areas. 10 seconds of work to go. See if you can build that speed up. Just around the corner, we're going to take you down into some core work on the floor. So let's try and push your heart rates before that happens and relax there. Let's grab a mat and I'll meet you down into a lead down position on your back. So with your arms above your head and your legs out straight, think about pushing your back into the floor, and we're going to do a V-sit. Exhale as you reach up, inhale as you lower yourself back down. Now, as you're doing this big range of movement, think about reaching towards your toes so you can really get as much height as possible, and then lower yourself back down with control. You can always reduce the length of your legs by just bending at the knees to make that exercise a little bit easier. But if you can, try and keep your arms and legs extended to try and challenge you. Lift the shoulder blades off the floor, strong and high. Last repetition here. And relax. Let's turn you over onto your front. The next exercise is called a mountain climber. So almost holding into a press-up position or a high plank position, where you're going to have your shoulders underneath you or over the top of your hands, and then just walk your knees in a steady motion. So let's get going straight away. Now, you don't need to run this one. Walking it in a mountain climbing way is perfect. This allows you to get your shoulder blades back and down, a strong plank position. A lot of the times when you start running, when you do this exercise, you'll find that your head lowers down and your hips come high. So keeping that steady range of movement, keeping it controlled. Just imagine if you were climbing a hill, it's going to be very difficult to run and be efficient. So we want to keep it fairly slow, steady, and keep you strong. Last 10 seconds of work. And relax there. Great job. Okay, the next exercise is going to be a side plank. So we're going to rest your elbow underneath your shoulders. We're going to stack your feet upon each other, and we're going to hold you up into a side plank. And we'll do 20 seconds up, quick transition to the opposite side, and then 20 seconds to the opposite side. Let's go up. Hold strong, 20 seconds of work here. Now think about pushing your hips high, holding that strong stability position through the shoulder, and keep focusing on pushing your hip up towards the ceiling as well. Keep breathing for this one. Try not to hold your breath. Okay, now let's bring it down and swap sides as quickly as you can. Now you could just turn over if you wanted to. Stack your feet again and then reach up high. Be that strong position. Keep reaching that fist up towards the ceiling so it gets away from the rest of the body. Keep pushing the hip up high. As you hold this position, and rest there. Let's lie yourselves onto your back again. We're going to do V-sits. So again, repeating those 3 core exercises. Arms are extended above the head, legs extended long. And we exhale as you reach your arms and your feet up above you, towards the ceiling, above your hips. Let's go. 45 seconds starts from now. Reach up high. Slowly lower yourself back down. And then repeat. Think about that breathing. Exhale as you reach up. Inhale as you lower yourself back down. I want you to think about pushing your lower back in towards the floor. Should feel very stable. If you feel like your back is arching, one of the ways to change that is just to reduce the leverage. So maybe bring your knees towards your elbows and then reset the heels down onto the floor. That could be an option just to make sure your back is in the safest place possible. If you have still got that range, then give it a go. Last 5 seconds of work. Then I'll take you onto those mountain climbers onto your front again. Okay, turn you over. Hands underneath your shoulders again. Remember, we're walking the feet in, not necessarily running them. We don't want to add speed when we're trying to work with core control. Starting in 3, let's get you set up. And then let's march those knees underneath the chest. Think about squeezing your shoulder blades back and down. Eyes looking at either the top of the mat, or if you're not using a mat, think about an imaginary line between your fingertips so that you're looking there. That keeps your head in a good space. It stops you from rounding through your shoulders and losing the work that the upper back has to do to hold this strong position. I want to make sure it's a full body conditioning workout today. We've got 15 seconds to go, so keep that tempo going. If you need to take a little break, you can do if it's too much for your wrists, but we want to try and keep you working as much as possible. Last 5. And rest there. Good work. Okay, side planks coming up. 20 seconds on one side, then we swap sides. Feet stacked upon each other. Fist up above the rest of your body. Starting in 5 seconds, we'll extend the hips up and then hold that strong plank position. Let's get you ready. Now keep reaching that fist up high. Hold that strong plank position. Be as powerful as you can here. Good. Keep holding that position tall. Okay, quick transition here. Let's go. Pivoting on your hips. Readjust, get your elbow underneath, and then straight back up again. As quick as you can, and then hold that strong position. On as much height as you can in the hips. Keep reaching that fist up tall. Feet are either stacked upon each other. If they find that stability is a challenge for you, just scissor those feet so the top foot goes over in front and rest there. Okay, next exercise is a push-off lunge. We're going to get rid of the mat, bring you up to a standing position. This is a progression on one of the warm-up exercises we did. So we're going to set you back down into a lunge position, and you're going to drive your knee up and reset. Let's get going. 45 seconds of work. Think of this one as the beginning of a running motion. You're driving your knee up and forwards as you start to pivot and rotate those arms. And then one arm reaches up across your body, and the opposite arm goes back. And that helps you with your running motion. This is a great exercise for any people who play team sports, where there's a change of direction or push off and acceleration as well. Great conditioning exercise for the legs. Really good for improving the fitness as well. So just do as many repetitions as you can. If you need to take a breather, again, always fine. You're coming down to your last 5 seconds. So keep going, get that back knee down towards the floor, then push the knee up high and relax there. So we'll do the opposite side as we come around through those exercises. The next exercise is called a bear crawl. So what we're going to do on this one is we're going to get you set down onto the floor, lift your knees off the floor, and it's opposite hand and opposite leg, transfer forwards. And then once you get to the other side, walk backwards, pushing through your hands to help give you that strong bear crawl position. Just about trying to maintain opposite arm, opposite leg moving. Be strong for the shoulders as you push and start to move backwards. Trying to keep your back as straight as possible, eyes looking down towards the floor. Last 5 seconds to come. And relax there. Good job. Okay, next up, the last exercise we're going to look at today is a burpee. So you've got 3 jumps, or you can walk this one. 3 jumps are jump out, jump in, and jump up. Or equally, join me in my first one. So I come down to the floor, step out, step in, and stand up. Now you know both. You pick the variation that suits you. Go for the jumps if you'd like to, or you can walk it out if you need to as well. I'll stay with you with the harder option, and you just trying to do as many as you can. Try not to stop, even if it gets a little bit slower, and there might be a little pause in between. We want you just to try and keep this 45 seconds of work and effort. Keep going. Last 10 seconds of work to go. And relax there. Good work. Okay. Let's repeat those 3 exercises as we push towards the finish line, trying to push that fitness just a little bit more. Let's get you ready for those lunge push-offs. Take you down into that kneeling position again. And again on this one, the arms drive up, reset the back knee down, and then go again. Let's get you working. Push off the floor if you can. Be strong and dynamic. Back knee down towards the floor of each repetition. Great way of toning the legs. This should get your heart rates up. So try and push off the floor, a bit like we did with those explodes, especially at the end of the first round. Push off the floor, create the height, push yourself with as much height as you can. If you're into your football, think about it as going up for a header. If you're a sprinter or you do any sports where you have to work hard to begin with, this is just acceleration. And last one, relax there. Bear crawls and burpees to come. Stay with me. You're doing a great job. Got 10 seconds before we start. Let's get you set. Hands underneath the shoulders, feet tucked underneath the body. First of all, it's just about lifting your knees off the floor, and then opposite hand and opposite leg begin the locomotion. And you start to travel. All about keeping control, your back position as straight as possible. Work for your arms, work for your legs. Sometimes reaching your arms too far ahead can actually lead to the technique being poor. So try and keep your hands close to being underneath your shoulders as possible. Got just over 10 seconds to go. And relax there. Okay, the final exercise. Then I'm going to take you through a little bit of a yoga cool down. We've got 45 seconds of burpees coming up. Now remember the two options. You can jump in, out and up, or alternatively, you can step out and stand up as well. You pick the option. Let's get working. Keep the heart rate high. Push the jump up into the air. Again, as much height as you can. Reach your arms up high. As much vertical height as possible. That makes the exercise hard, but is what gives you that better fitness conditioning work, which is the focus of this third round of exercises. 15 seconds between you and the finish line. Let's work through to this as much as you can do. Be strong, be determined. 5 seconds to go. Definitely time for one more. Great job, well done. Grab a drink, grab a towel. Let's take you through some yoga movements just to help you cool down and relax the body a little bit more as well. So I'm going to grab a mat, bring it down to the floor as your heart rate starts to come back down. Now we're going to start with up dogs and down dogs. So an up dog, hands underneath the shoulders. From a kneeling position, lower your hips towards the floor. Lift your chin and chest up high. Roll your shoulder blades back and down. Now I'm going to keep my knees on the floor and just feel that stretch through the front of the hips. Now let's tuck your feet underneath the rest of the body. Push through your hands and lift your hips up high into your downward facing dog. Now I'm just going to hold here and just pedal my heels. This will just allow me to stretch out the calves. We've done quite a few exercises today which have had some jumping, so it's important to stretch through the calves. Now let's come back into up dog. But this time, we're not going to let the knees rest onto the floor. We're going to keep them up. Just hold and keep that strong position. And then again, from here, push up into downward facing dog. And again, this time I'm going to hold it. Think about lifting your hips high, pushing your heels down towards the floor, being very active through the shoulders to find that position. Okay. Now from here, we're going to lift one leg up. We're going to swing the foot through towards the opposite hand. Now, once you've got it up near the hand, reach your hand high. Think about pushing your back heel away. So we really feel this big stretch. This is called the world's greatest running stretch. So one of the best stretches you can do for working across the body, especially if you're looking a little bit short on time, very time efficient, a lot of benefit for the time you work in here. Now bring the hand down, step back to downward facing dog. Lift up your foot and swing it over to the opposite side. And again, reach up high, push the back heel away. Hold that long, tall position. Okay, and again, that hand comes down inside the foot, step back. Last downward facing dog. Then rest your knees onto the mat and just lower your hips down towards your heels. And think about walking your fingertips forwards. As you walk your fingertips forwards, you get a little stretch through the back of the shoulders, down the sides of your spine. And then when you're ready, you're going to transfer the weight into your hands and then onto the feet as you stand up. Roll up for your spine. Bring you up to a standing position. Now we're going to stretch through the upper body. I want you to wrap your arms around a giant imaginary ball. Think about pushing that ball away from the rest of you. Think about pushing your elbows wide. So you get a stretch through your upper back. And then from here, the hands come behind you. Lift your chin and chest up tall. Get that big position. And then slowly release it out. Let's take a standing balance stretch. So I want you to take you into a thigh stretch. Take a balanced position if you need to. But if you can, take one foot into the palm of your hand. Have a slight bend in that standing foot, straighten through the spine. When you're holding that balanced position, think about pushing your hip forward slightly, especially after doing some of that core work and some of the jumping. Want to make sure that hip gets a really nice stretch as well. Okay, and then slowly release it. Let's swap it over to the opposite side. Same thing again, push the front of the hip forward. Try and keep your body as straight as you can. And then slowly release it. Thank you very much for joining me for this Matrix Fitness workout. I'll be back again at 12 o'clock today for a live workout and also 5 o'clock this evening. And we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.